The Big Sky Conference is today's topic on Hardwood Hoops. January, Wednesday, 25th. Welcome to Hardwood Hoops. Let's jump into some basketball headlines for ya. Kansas now got their 3 straight loss back-to-back at home and just recently on the road versus Baylor. Yep, that's right. Kansas lost 2 straight games at home, tying the most losses Bill Sides had at Kansas. The most losses. Let's jump into some upset alerts here in college hoops. Yep, and there's one of them right there. TCU pulling off a big upset. Yeah, 83-60 over Kansas. Arizona, woo, do you remember my pick from American Game Day? I got that one right. 58-52 over UCLA. And then Oklahoma State getting a comeback, knocking off a big upset against Iowa State, 61-59. Oh, Duke won, finally, 68-66, and pulled up an upset against Miami. I think that's a big win for Duke right there if they're trying to race back up there into the rankings. Number 1, Houston goes down, which means we got a new number 1 coming up. I got that later on. Baylor pulls up an upset against Kansas, 75-69. Yep, Kansas is not looking good on this one. And then New Mexico goes down after just being newly ranked against Nevada, 97-94. Iowa State continuing their upset road after losing to Oklahoma State. They come back and beat Kansas State. Let's check out the AP Top 25. 21, we got Florida Atlanta. 22, St. Mary. 23 is Providence. And 24 is Clemson. 25 is New Mexico. Probably won't last very much longer with them losing just the past couple of days ago. So, Providence, Clemson, take a fall. St. Mary, I haven't seen St. Mary or any of the only team I've seen play this week is New Mexico, or really I did see it, but I saw the score, so I don't know how any of them will shake up for next week. But anyway, number 16 is Marquette, 17 is Baylor, 18 is Charleston, 19 is UConn, and 20 is Miami. Yeah. Baylor trying to climb back up there. The Big 12 is so competitive this year, like they've been the past couple years. It's always Kansas and Baylor at the top, but with Kansas and Baylor, with now Kansas losing now their last 3 games, we're gonna have a new top Big 12 team. Who's it gonna be? Well, is it gonna be TCU? They're at 11. 12 is Iowa State, 13 is Xavier, 14 is Gonzaga, and number 15 is Auburn. Yep, Xavier trying to climb back up in the rankings to start a conference play, and, 1 loss, you're down. Gonzaga is really trying to climb back up there after having a rough start to their season, and just not another loss for Gonzaga. It's going to be tough for Gonzaga this year, but TCU continues to climb. Number 6 is Arizona. They're in the top 10 with that big win over UCLA. Virginia is 7, and there's UCLA at 8. Kansas is all the way down to 9, and Texas is 10. Yep. Kansas, so far, looks like the highest Big 12 team, despite being number 10 and losing 3 straight games. Can you imagine losing 3 straight games and you're still in the top 10? That's Kansas basketball for you. Yikes. Alright, and Texas is 10. And then the Big 12 is very competitive. Number 1, Purdue is back at number 1. Number 2 is Alabama. Number 3 is Houston. Number 4 is Tennessee. Oh, and is that a new Big 12 team? Number 5 is Kansas State. Yeah. Houston, with their loss, only dropped down a couple spots to 3. Everyone else goes up, and we got a new number 1 team, like I mentioned already. Purdue is number 1. Get a round of applause for them. They climbed back up there. College basketball is crazy, and anything can happen. One week, you're number 1, the next week, you're out of the top 10. You might still be ranked, but a 1 seed for March Madness is in trouble. Anyway, NBA headlines for you. Yeah, someone purchased, I know I'm going to have a hard time pronouncing his last name, so I'm just going to say his first name. Matt, purchased the Phoenix Suns and the G League team, Phoenix Mercury, at $4 billion, and it's expected to be official here in the next 2 weeks. So by the time February rolls around, he'll officially own those two teams. Exciting news for the Suns right there. And then as you can see, it's time for the standings. As you can see, it's a little different how I used to. Instead of doing top 5 teams, I'm going to take a little deep dive to see what teams have a chance at the play-in part of the playoffs. Number 9, the West Timberwolves. Number 10 is the Warriors. At the moment, they got a spot. Who's behind them? Who still got a chance? Well, that's the Thunder, Trailblazers, and yes, that is. The Lakers still have a shot at the West Conference, or have a shot at least being in the playoffs. Yeah, I think we might see, I hate to say it, but I think the Lakers might, this time next week, might move up. Anyway, look at the East. Number 8, the Hawks. Number 9, the Pacers. 10 is the Bills. Those 3 got, at the season ended today, those got a playoff spot. 2 teams that are looking to change that here is the Wizards and the Raptors are in the playoff race. So we're gonna, this is getting interesting now. It's almost February. We're almost at the All-Star week, which means that it's time to start deep diving into these teams and games to see, all right, head-to-head matchups, and some of them have mostly the same record, so it's going to come down to head-to-head matchups, so it's going to start to get important here in the NBA pretty soon. All right, let's check out what's going around here in the network here on Busy Sports. Slate Report Podcast every Monday, 6 o'clock. Down and Distance, when it rolls back around here in August, it's going to be every Tuesday at 6 o'clock. And then Hardwood Hoops, this show, our basketball show, every Wednesday at 6. And then American Game Day, Hot Seat. I always forget about Hot Seat. The first Monday of every month at 6:30. I got a good one coming up here in February. And then our flagship show, American Game Day, every Saturday at 10 a.m. Just because football season's over doesn't mean it's ending. We got a whole bunch of leagues going on right now with XFL kicking off very soon. And if you haven't already, check out our website for the latest news, scores, stats, etc. That's all what's going around here in the network here on Busy Sports Network. Alright, let's jump into some big games this week. Alright, what we got going on? We got Xavier and UConn tonight at 5:30 at FS1. This is going to be a big game, and I'm actually going to start doing some picks here now because we got weekday games now, and I think UConn is going to pull up this episode. I think, once again, Xavier is going to fall apart. They did so much to climb into the ranking, and I think they're going to ruin it here in 1 week, just like Kansas did. All right, and then 8 o'clock on ESPN2, we got A&M and Auburn. This is going to be a really big game. I actually think this is going to be a really big, close game. I think A&M will stay competitive. This might come down to the last possession, but I think Auburn will hang on, and I think it'll come down to hack-a-shack free throws to win the game for Auburn. NBA action tonight, 6:30 on ESPN. Got the Nets and the 76ers. This is going to be a really big game in the East Conference. Yeah, it's a big East, Xavier and UConn. And then the Nets, the 76ers at the East Conference. See what I did with the title for this episode? Anyway, I got the 76ers winning this game. Alright, thanks for watching Hardwood Hoops. I'll see you next Wednesday at 6 o'clock. And I got a big show lined up for American Game Day Saturday because it's SEC and Big 12 Challenge. See you next time.